Hi everybody, welcome to the 2020-2021 school year. I am Mr. Searcy and this is
Mrs. Bailey.
And we are here to teach you Holocaust this year. So we have a few things we'd like to talk about. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Mr. Searcy. This is my 6th year teaching, and this is by far the most unique year I've ever taught school. I've taught a little bit of everything. I've taught current issues, sociology, government, American history, world history, and of course I teach the Holocaust. Mrs. Bailey, a little bit about you.
I am Mrs. Bailey, obviously. This is my 4th year of teaching. I also teach 10th grade English as well. And then I'm getting my master's currently at Miami University.
All right. So before we go over the syllabus, because we're going to go over the syllabus with you, I wanted to give you a few basics on what you're required to do here in the first week. Not much. Basically, your job is to, one, of course, read the syllabus, and you have to complete the syllabus summary assignment that goes with that. Then you're going to respond to the discussion board. The discussion board is for you to learn how to use Schoology's discussion board, because we will be using the discussion board frequently with you on Schoology. So this week is fun. All right, what's your favorite food? Explain why and argue that it is indeed your favorite food and respond to one of your classmates' posts. After that, you must take the intro to class quiz. It's not very long, it's a short quiz. It's about getting to know you and about us learning some information that can help you along the way. So make sure you do all of that this week and you're set. Wait till next week. But now me and Mrs. Bailey want to go over a few key elements of the syllabus that we think you need to know about. So if you'd like, you should pause this video right now and get out your syllabus so you can follow along. 3, 2, 1. Mrs. Bailey?
Alright, so course description, we're at the very top of your syllabus here. So the course is a social studies English elective for juniors and seniors. So if you're a junior and senior, you're in good luck. You can get a social studies and English credit. Alright, social studies elective and a full English credit. This course will use history, literature, and arts to teach students the valuable lessons of the Holocaust. This class will also allow students to explore a topic that they are interested in and then take that information to learn how it applies to the world around them. We hope that this class will help them to value the various arts that we will use in this class, as well as to learn about the power of human voice, no matter how small, in the most horrid of situations. So this is going to be a very project-driven class, so be prepared.
With that being said, we're going to cover a variety of topics throughout this course, and you'll see underneath the description an outline of many of the things we're going to discuss with you here in this class this year. One of the first things we do is we talk about Germany under Hitler's reign, and basically we're talking about the escalation towards more of the criminal atrocities of the Holocaust. We talk about the dictatorship, we talk about some of the early concentration camps, early stages of prosecution. We work our way into World War II, so what happens there. We're talking about the persecution, murder of Jews in ghettos. We're talking about the Einsatzgruppen. We're talking about the World War II in Europe. We're talking about concentration camp systems, killing centers. We're talking about death marches, and of course we're going to also talk about the liberation at the end of this, and we'll also talk about what happens to displaced persons and criminals after World War II. Obviously this is a unique year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and because of that, many of you, particularly probably the ones watching this video right now, are going to be doing online schooling. And with that being said, we have a few new sections to our syllabus about that. The first I'd like to call your attention to is blended learning. Take a look at that section. It says blended learning is the combination of an active engaged learning online and active engaged learning offline, with the goal of giving students more control over time, place, pace, and path of their learning. This model tailors the learning process for each student's strengths, needs, interests by enabling students' voice in what, when, where, and how the learning happens. Essentially, that being said, is the things that happen online are similar to what happened in class, all right? So you're going to be doing a lot of the same things our students are doing in here, but in an online fashion, all right? Take a look at Schoology. Obviously, you're watching this video on a link on Schoology. Students will be required to complete various activities and assignments in Schoology during class and outside class. Online expectations are as follows. Submitting activities and assignments by the date and time posted. Create and develop quality work and discussion posts that are your own thoughts and reflections. Communicate with Mr. Searcy and Mrs. Bailey directly if you have any questions or concerns. Follow school guidelines regarding online learning. Setting time outside of school to focus on Malachi's revisited work during the week. So, things to keep in mind is you are, at least those of you doing the full online format, are the keeper of your own time. It's important that you submit your work on time, you keep up with it, work on a little bit each day. That's how we'll break it up for you into daily amounts of work. And it's important that if you have any questions, you do contact us. You can email us. Later on, we're going to talk about Remind. But either way would be an effective means for getting a hold of us quickly and efficiently.
All right, cell phone policy. So those of you, even if you're at home learning, please make sure that you have your cell phones put away. Otherwise, you're going to have a really difficult time trying to focus on your studies. So in class and outside of class, just make sure when you're working on stuff, you do not have your cell phone out. Those of you that are in class and tune in with us later on in live here in the coming year, no cell phones or out you go. Expected behaviors. It says no food in the classroom for when you are here first period. We're going to discuss that a little bit more, but we understand that some of you have breakfast and things like that, so if we can clean up after ourselves, we'll be able to keep that going. 2, come to class on time. Follow the school dress code, and then obviously no cell phones or other distractions. So these expectations can result in detention or further punishment. All right, so those of you that are online learners and then eventually coming later on this year, or maybe you're just tuning in a little late because of everything going on, just understand these expected behaviors.
Some other classroom behaviors to keep in mind for the school year. Students are expected to be past the pencil sharpener when the bell rings. I don't want you hanging out by the doorway. I want you past the pencil sharpener by the time the bell rings. Students should have a 1.5-inch 3-ring binder with them in class every day. We will likely, I assume, be adjusting that policy because of the situation. We don't want people to congregate in the back of the room and gather their binders, so I don't want you to really worry about that right now. Right now, you will be the keeper of your own papers. Students are expected to check themselves for dress code. They're old enough to tuck on their shirts and have appropriate belts and attire before coming to school. This also means masks. You'll notice that me and Miss Bailey are wearing masks currently as we speak. You should be wearing masks at all times. If you're not wearing masks at all times, you will not be in my class anytime. Pencils should be sharpened before the class begins. Basically, just don't sharpen pencils when I'm talking. It's the short story. Students should have homework and uncompleted assignments completed before class, all right? You're not supposed to be working on other people's works or missing assignments when we're in the middle of teaching a lesson. The idea is that you're done with things and you're focused on what we're telling you, all right? So make sure you come to class and do that. Students should remain in their seats unless quietly instructed otherwise. This is extremely important now. It was always important then. But now you must raise your hand before you go anywhere in the room. We don't want people getting up and walking about and congregating near areas with each other. We need people to stay seated. This is safety now. This is about the virus. This is about keeping people apart. You can't keep people apart if people are constantly getting up without permission. It's not that we're not going to say yes. We're going to say yes. We just need to do it in an orderly and controlled fashion. So if one person sharpens his pencil, he goes up, he sharpens his pencil, he sits down. Somebody else wants to sharpen their pencil, he goes up, he sharpens it, he sits down. This is how it works now. This is how it has to work. Students should participate in all class activities fully and to gain knowledge. A lot of you guys are juniors and seniors. I'd like to think you know how to be students. Take advantage of this class. Absences. Students who are tardy will receive a 5-minute detention for each time they are tardy. You'll be given 2 days to serve a detention. Students are responsible to talk to the teacher about work missed in the cases of absences, whether full or part or excused or unexcused or school-related. Students will be given an allotted time to finish the assignment. If the assignment is not completed in time, the student will receive a 0. So make sure you're completing these things on time. If a student needs an extension on the assignment, make sure you talk to us. Me and Miss Bailey don't know all the problems of the world, and we can't help you if you don't tell us what the problems are.
Yeah, especially in times right now, if you feel that you are falling behind online and at home, you gotta let us know, because if you don't talk to us, we're not going to be able to help you. So we've got to keep that line of communication open. All right, so do not be afraid to contact us. We might not, if you're contacting us in the middle of the night, we're obviously not going to get to you until 7 o'clock the next morning, but know that we are going to respond to you in an allotted time.
A few other things. Please leave anything on my desk alone. This is now, it was serious before, and again, because of the pandemic, it is more serious now than ever before. It's not that I won't necessarily ever let you have anything on my desk, but you have to ask. There's no coming up and assuming that you could grab something. You have to tell me. All right? Please take care of all classroom supplies, markers, glue, rulers, scissors. We will have classroom supplies this year, but it will be a little different for safety reasons. Those of you that have had me before know that I keep everything in a large box. That won't exist.
We are working on getting everyone individual, like crayons and markers and colored pencils and such, but we don't know when those items will be in. So if you want to start carrying that stuff around with you and maybe you have it sitting at home, feel free.
If you want to contact us, please email us. Parents can contact us via email as well. That's probably the quickest way to get hold of me and Mrs. Bailey. So please do that. We're using Reminder this year. Please text HOLORVEV to 81010 to sign up for Remind. On top of using our Spartan Mail, Remind will be a quick and easy way to get a hold of you guys and you to get a hold of us. Considering the way things are with the pandemic and the fact that things could change at a moment's notice, it's important that we're able to communicate with you in a moment's notice. So please stay tuned. Grading scale is listed below. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Bailey.
All right, so if you notice, you've got some signatures over the next following pages that you need to get complete. Here's the thing, especially for those of you online. If you want to just have your parents send us an email, and there's more directions online, but send us an email saying that they agree to the syllabus, that they agree to, we're going to be watching some rated R movies, we're going to be watching some rated R documentaries, and a lot of it is just these horrifying experiences that these people faced, and a lot of the humility that they faced, and so with that, you need to have that rated R rated R signature done. So, teaching about the Holocaust. So one of the primary concerns of educators teaching the history of the Holocaust is how to present horrific historical images in a sensitive and appropriate manner. Please know that we will use our discretion when deciding which pictures, videos, and movies to show in class. So we're not just showing you stuff to show it to you, all right? There is meaning behind it. We want you to gain as much understanding as you can about this time period, but we also want to show respect to the people who lived this horrific ordeal. If you have any concerns or questions about the material that we are presenting, please contact us. We would be happy to discuss it with you. Students will also do their own research as well, and many of the projects we will be using direct the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum website. So we're going to be using that website a lot. We base our class on the material from here, and we know it is a trusted website that has the integrity of the victims in mind when presenting information. We will not show rated R movies without sending home a permission slip. So you've got to get that signed, otherwise you're not going to be able to participate in some of our discussion about those documentaries. There might be some that are not rated, but are graphic in nature because of the topic that we're discussing. We do take the time to discuss with students what they are seeing and how we need to remember that these people are humans. Someone's mother, sister, father, brother, sibling, they have a family. So also something to keep in mind. This is a serious class. We cover very serious topics. A lot of people died in the Holocaust, and so it's very serious. We need to show sensitivity. We need to show empathy when we're